Hello everyone, my name is Nirav Patel. I am a registered migration agent here in Aussizz Group, Balibi. Today I am going to do this Facebook Live about the recent invitation round happened on 11th of August 2019, and we will discuss about like how many invitations they have received and what are the chances that you will receive an invitation if you have certain points. And apart from that, we'll also discuss about the regional visa 491, which is coming up after 16 November, and like bit of information about that, who will be able to apply and how long the visa will be, and which can be considered in the regional area in Australia. And we'll answer, we'll do the Facebook, if you put the comments for any questions or something, we'll answer that one as well. So you can share this video with your friends, or you can tag them in the comments. So if they have any questions while watching the video, then they can put it in the comment. So I'll try to answer most of the comments during the live session. If I'm not able to do that, then we will try to answer it by writing in the comments. Now, apart from that, we'll also discuss some of the points about skill employment assessment in different occupation. Then apart from that, about how you can increase your points, and some of the points tips which you might not have heard, or some of the applicants might have a doubt that in certain situation you will be able to claim the points for your experience, or you'll be able to claim points for the experience for the professional year, or maybe for the OET and everything, and how you can get your partner skills 5 points with the skill assessment and the competent English. So first we will start with the recent updates for the 11th August round. So it seems that immigration has invited very less number of invitation for the 189 skill independent visa, as for 189 they have invited very less, and applicants with the 85 or 90 points might be. But in this round they have invited more applicants for the 489 family category in non-pro ratas. We received quite a few invitations for the 489 family category. So as a telecommunication engineer, or maybe as a security specialist, we received an invitation for 85 points in maybe in 10 days. If you have applied, still they have received the invitation for 489 family category. So it may lead that immigration was focusing more on 489 family invitations in the last invitation round, as it might be because the visa is going to be closed by 10th of September. So again, in the next round, it is a possibility that by 10th of September, they might invite more 489 family category applicants rather than the 189. But that just, we are assuming that it may happen like that. And when the 489 will be closed by 10th of September, there will be 2 rounds, 11th of October and 11th of November, before the 16th November changes. In that one, they will focus mainly might be for the 189 skill independent visa, and possibility is that they will invite more number of applicants for the 189 category in October and November round. So immigration is invited in the July round around 1,000 applicants. So that creates some huge backlog for the accounting, or maybe for IT. IT applicants come to 80 points up to up to May 2019. That's good actually. So if they again invite for 2 or 3 rounds more for the 1,000 like that, the possibility that they may go down to 75. But it will not be possible after 11th of November. Why? Because after 16th of November, as per immigration new changes, that they will be implementing the points criteria for the single. For marriage, if your partner is skilled, then you can get the extra points for that. If your partner is competent English, then they can also get the extra points for that. So they are planning to introduce this in the 189 skill independent visa as well. So if you are a single, you get 10 points extra. So if someone is standing currently at the 75 points, and if they have if they are not married, if he or she is not married, then they will get 10 points extra. But if someone standing with the 80 points and they already got the 5 points including the partner points, then they will get extra 5 points, which will be coming up in November. So total it will be 85. So the points criteria will be changed around 85 to 90 points after November 2019. For they will reach to 90 points as well, but they will give the more priorities to those who have a partner with the skills. Then they will choose someone with the single applicant, so they both are equivalent together. But for the single for the partner applicants, if they have the partner with the 6 seats, they can get the 5 points for that one. So that can also benefit them, but they have a lower priority than single and the married applicants with the skilled partner. if the partner is like does not have like any skill, or they don't have any competent English, then it will be difficult for them, as they will not get any additional benefits compared to all other applicants. So this is the how immigration is planning to introduce the points criteria after 16 November 2019, and how it can affect your expression of interest. Now most of the applicants might have a question that will the date of effect will change after changing their points criteria. If they already lodge it with 80 points now, so will the date of effect will change to 16 November, like if they get extra 10 points for the single? So supposedly it should change as they're introducing the new criteria, but it will depend on the immigration that they will change the EUI date or expression of like expression of interest date of effect date or not, because it may affect to so many other applicants as well. Let's say someone is currently with the 70 points and they are not like married, they are single, they will straight away get the 10 points extra. So someone with the 80 points and they already lodged it like last year, so that's like if their date of effect will change, then it will be unfair for those applicants. So that's the reason immigration is to work out on these criteria, and they will announce in November that how the date of effect will be changed or not. So that it's not announced from the immigration yet. So there are so many other questions which immigration needs to clear. So one of them is like about the expression of interest date of effect. Apart from that, like for the 491 visa, so for the 491 visa, immigration is planning to introduce that for 5 years. So if you get that visa for 5 years, you need to stay 3 years in the regional area and work for 3 years in the regional area. So like after that 3 years, you can apply for 191 visa, that's a PR. So during the 3 years, if you get the invitation from, let's say, in South Australia, from Tasmania or Darwin, in any regional area, so they clearly mention that you can live in any regional area. It's not compulsory to live in the regional area from we get the invitation. But you just need to update into immigration with all your address change within 14 days, so that they have all of your updated details. So even if you get the invitation from Tasmania, you can come in Geelong, and if Geelong is still in the regional, you can stay for 3 years and the regional work for 3 years over there, then you can apply for the PR. Now in the current 489 to 887 criteria for the permanent residency, they require that you need to stay for 2 years and work for 1 year in the regional area to apply for the PR. So they require 1 year work full time to be eligible for the 887 visa. Now it will be the similar requirement of like 3 years full time work in the regional, but this time they have also announced that the 3 years of work experience needs to be at certain income level. So you need to have like minimum $55,000, $50,000 income as per the immigration definition. It's not defined yet, so they will be defining clearly like after 16th of November, so that applicant will be able to understand that they can get the job according to their income requirement in the 191 visa. So they will not face any problem later on that their application will be delayed or something, you know. So these criteria also needs to be cleared by 16th of November. Apart from that, like there will be other regionals will be opening as well, or there will be the same requirements. Like in Tasmania, currently requirement is 1 year study or 6 months experience for 489, but it's not like guaranteed that it will remain the same requirement after November 2019. However, there are high chance that they will be having the similar kind of requirement, but still they need to confirm it before November, so that applicant get an idea about that. So they need to move in which regional area, so then they can get their 491 visa as early as possible. So this was also one of the points that the immigration needs to be clear. And immigration has made a strong emphasize that if you are already with the 491 new regional visa, you will not able to apply for the 189, 190 for like next 3 years. So they are putting the restriction for the 49 applicants to eligible for other GSM or other ways permanent residency application. So in this way, applicants will be living in the regional area for 3 years for sure. So they will have more benefits of people migrating into the regional actually. So in the current 489 category, it's not necessary that there is no strict requirement that you cannot apply. Like if you get the invitation for 189 after getting a 489 visa, like in 2 months, you can apply for 189 as well. So in this way, they might lose the migrants who actually needs to go into the regional area. So that was the case for the 489 to the 491 difference, that how it will affect to all the applicants in the future. Now, recently immigration, there are like ministers in the member of parliament, they try to introduce the bill for the regional applicants benefits. So they might get the benefits for the international students fees, or they might get the benefits for their healthcare or social welfare or something, but that's not confirmed yet. So they are going to read the bills again in the parliament. If everyone will be agreed, then they will get this benefit. So this is one more thing as well, that applicant will be attracted, that at least they will get some benefits by moving in the regional area, like the Medicare benefits there. They don't need to buy a private health insurance. So that will be actually good for the applicants who is living in the regional, like who was migrating from metropolitan area to regional area. So that was like one major news coming up, but that might take some time until they will pass the bill in the parliament. So that was for the 491 visa criteria. So even like for the 491 visa criteria, there might be different occupations list for different state or the regional. So like currently Tasmania is accepting all the occupations for the 489, or maybe regional areas in New South Wales, they're accepting different occupations list for their as per their requirement. So there might be similar kind of things coming up as well. So they will announce that things as well in November, or maybe before that. In Victoria as well, there might be some occupation list changes as well after they will announce the 491 visa. So this is like for the invitation round update and the 491 basic information. But I would also like to give some more details about the 489 visa, which is going to be end by 10th of September. Now you might have heard like lots of information that recently in like last 2-3 weeks, that there are so many different regional areas in New South Wales which are opening their 489 category in different occupation. And if your occupation is there, you can apply, and they may, if you meet the requirement or if you are in their top list, they will give you the invitation before 10th of September so that you can be eligible for 489 and you don't need to wait for the 491. Now there are like different regional areas in New South Wales, like Orana, Mid North Coast, Far South Coast, Northern Rivers, then the like the Southern Inland, Northern Inland, Riverina, and the Murray. So these are the regional area, but they have each occupation list for individual. So if your occupation is in one of the lists, if you are eligible, then we should apply for this application. We know that there might be so many applicants applying in that way, but this is the chance to get the invitation for 489. So what documents you need to get ready with the application, because these applications usually close very soon. So Orana opened it like recently, but they just close it in maybe 1 or 2 days. Or even like for the Far South Coast, close it in 2 days. There was like a day Riverina which opened in end of July, but that just opened for like maybe 4 to 5 hours. So people are waiting for this occupation list to be announced. As soon as they are eligible, they are applying for their application. So the people not from like applicants not from only from in Australia. There are so many applicants waiting from overseas as well. So there are so many offshore applicants applying in this category because there is no additional requirement for the offshore applicants. It's the same requirement as in if you are living in Australia. So you need to get ready with all your documents. So whenever if your occupation is there in the list, you should apply for the application. So what are the major documents you need to get ready with the regional application? So you need to have your passport scan copy. You need to have your skill assessment, so which is a compulsory thing. You need to have like your resume. So most of the regional area require the resume with current qualification, experience details. Apart from that, you need to have your qualifications document scanned, so that you need to have like your master, bachelor qualifications like color scan copy. You need to have like your PT English score result. So, and experience documents like experience letter or pay slips, if any of the regional area will require that. So it's, if you have the experience, keep ready all of these documents. And some of the regional area require the certified copy of these documents. So you need to like prepare with the 2 sets, like one for the color scan copy without certification and one with the certification as well. So if they will announce the requirement, and if you are eligible, if you let us know that you want to apply, you can straight away apply if you get ready with those documents. Otherwise it may sometimes take a long time to apply, and in between if you're processing the application and they announce that their application has been closed. Recently it happened like that as well for the Mid North Coast and the Far South Coast, that they open, like they just say that they will be closing by 6 o'clock, but actually they close it in the 12 in the afternoon because they receive so many applications in between, so they can't wait until 6 o'clock to get the more applicants, as they know that like because they have a limited quota. So if they receive, like they want to invite only 200 applicants, if they already received 1000 applicants, then there is no need of waiting for further applications to be received. So it's better you get ready with all the all the documents required, and we should apply for the application as soon as possible. So we always put the details on our Facebook page and individual migration agent page as well, like which is the regional opening now and what are the occupations available. So if you see your occupation, if you have all those documents ready, you can contact. There might be the regional area which are closed now, it may open at any time, and if your occupation is there, we can apply for that. Now the 489 is going to be closed by 10th of September. So they need to invite you before 10th of September, like at least they need to give the positive or negative outcome. If they give you the positive outcome, you need to submit them all other additional documents and their forms and fees and everything, and then they will invite you before 10th of September. So whenever you receive the invitation for 489, that will be valid for 2 months. So you need to apply for the 489 visa in 2 months of time, so maybe 10th September to 10th of November or something. As after 16th of November, they will not allow anyone to apply for the 489 visa. That's anyhow, it will not be possible, because for the 489, the last day to invite is 10th of September. So after 10th of September and after 10th of November, they will wait for the 16th November, and they will start with the new visa 16th November for the 491 category. So this is like for the recent updates for the 189 and the 489 criteria as well, and the new changes for the 491 coming up with different like requirements. So if you have any questions or something, and you can put it in the comments. So we will now answer some of the questions in the comments, and then if you're left with any time, we will discuss 2 more points about the skill employment assessment, and there are a few like the facts which applicants might not be aware, or they are not maybe sure, so we will clear their doubts as well. So let's check the questions, and we should answer that now. Thank you. So we have the first question from Anne, and the question is that, like, how come regional area requirement is 2 years but still invite those with only 1 year requirement? So, and I think you were asking for the for the 489 criteria, because some of the regional area, like in RTA Murray regional area, they require 2 years of experience working in your nominated occupation to get the invitation. But they have the exceptional criteria, or they may have the exceptional right that if you are living in that particular Murray regional area, or if you are living in, let's say I'm not just giving you Murray, it's in Oran or somewhere, if you are living in the regional area itself, then there are chances that even if you're not meeting the requirement, they may give you the invitation based on their discretionary criteria, because they want applicants mostly to prefer to live in their area rather than calling more applicants outside from other state and ask them to move here. So if you're already living over there, if you're not meeting the requirement by a few points or something, like not points, I guess, like the number of years of experience, then they are a bit liberal. As long as if you have your points and skill assessment, they may invite you for the like the regional criteria. So, and Ian asked for our invitation going to stay that way low until November. So it's not confirmed yet, but there are chances that it may be low as well. But as I said, that there are chances that immigration will invite less number of applicants in of September as well, as there might be last round for the 489 family category. So they might invite more number of applicants in October or November. So that's our predictability, but it will depend on the immigration. However, immigration may also think that they start invite more number of applicants after the new rules coming up 16 November. So there is no such confirmation yet, but these are the 2 logic we can get from the current trends for the invitation. next question is from Priksha. What is requirement for skill assessment of Diploma of Community Services? So Diploma of Community Services skill assessment is actually they require that your occupation must be in the accredited qualification list. If your occupation is one of the if your qualification is listed over there as accredited from particular university, then you can get the skill assessment for Diploma of Community Services as a community worker. But if your qualification is not accredited, then they will not assess your skill assessment as a community worker in that category. So community worker is available currently in the regional area. So they open in some of the regional area for the 489. So if you have the skill assessment 55 point, you can apply for that 489 category before 10th of September, as there are high chance that they will open for the regional area for the community worker. Just a moment, there is some technical problem. Thank you. So we got one of the question from Avneet Singh, and he's asking that he does not have any experience in studying master in Adelaide. So he needs to understand the requirement for 491 for family sponsor, as his uncle is citizen in Australia living in Adelaide. So Avneet Singh, you can apply for the 491 category in the family stream. As like you brought up one good question, because for 491 family category, they're now changing the requirement that your sponsor needs to be living in the regional area as well. At the same time, you need to live in the regional area after getting the visa. Because in the current 489 criteria for the family, it's not compulsory that your sponsor needs to be living in the low population growth regional area. They can live in the designated regional area as well. So there are two different lists. But after November, they are making only one regional area occupation, the regional area postcodes. So that will be like excluding Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Gold Coast, and the Perth. So apart from that, if your family sponsor is living in the regional area, you can get the 15 points from there. And you need to have your occupation in the list as well, and you need to have minimum points criteria. So again, in the 491 category, immigration didn't announce the minimum points criteria. Like in current 489, it is 55. So it may go down to 50 as well, and you'll get 15 points from your family or in the regional area. But that's not again sure, because it will be announced in November. So Tahmin Sajani asked for why so less invitation in this round. So as I explained earlier as well, like they might try to apply to give more invitation for 489 family category. So that could be the reason that they have invited like less number of applicants for the 189 category. So that's the reason they might invite more number of applicants in October or November, because after after 10th of September there will not be 489 subclass anymore. So they will not invite anyone with the 489 in October or in November. Kamaldeep Chol is asking for what the chance of 85 points you have submitted January. So I think you have a question about like accounting, as you applied for your 85 points, and if you are in other occupation, you might have got it now. But if you have applied for 85 points in January, there are high chance that you can get the invitation in October or November rather than the September, because as I said, there are again chances that immigration will invite more number of 489 family family visa subclass invitation, as that is the last round for the 489 family. So Pawan Reddy is asking for the invitation for the mechanical engineering with 75 points. Just a moment, there are so many comments. For mechanical engineering for 75 points, and date of effect is June. So for mechanical engineer with 75 points, they have invited the invitation up to like March or February. So, and again in this round they have invited less applicants, so they will start, even if they start to invite more number of applicants, first they will start to clear all the applicants with the 80 points in mechanical. That is around like May 2019. So they will clear from May 2019 until the invitation date, and after that they will go back to 75 points from the February or March, and then they try to clear from March, April, May and June. So there are less chance that you might get the invitation before November with 75 points if you have applied in June. So they will give first priority to those who are waiting since March or April for the 75 points. Master Mini asking for what is the chance of getting invitation for 75 points, ICT business analyst, applied on November 2018. So ICT business analyst is currently around 85 points, and they invite less number of applicants for that occupation. So again, there might be less chance that you will get the invitation before November, as they will clear first 85 points, then they will go to 80 points for the business analyst. That's from like around maybe February or March, and once they clear everyone with the 80 points, then they will go back to the 75 points from the October 2018, since when the October applicants are waiting for the 75 points. So you have a chances, but there might be that you need to go through a November changes as well. So if you are a single, you will be beneficial, get 5-10 points extra, so there won't be any problem after November as well for you. So you'll get a good chance after November, but not before November. So now we'll answer a few of the questions, and then we'll end up this session. And if you miss any answers, then any questions to answer, then we will answer it in the comments. So let's go. I got one interesting question here that from Rashmi. She said that there are this PAUS points after 10-16 November. You get 5 points if you are getting a competent English, and 10 points if you have a skill partner. So skill partner means you need to have a skill assessment. So there are so many applicants or students have misconception that you will get 10 points for the skill assessment for your partner, you'll get 5 points extra for the competent English for your partner, and you'll get 15 points. No, it's not like that. So if your partner is skilled, you will get 10 points. If they are not skilled but they just have competent English, they will get 6 each. But 6 each is compulsory with the skill assessment to get 10 points. So you should not be an assumption that you get 15 points if they have the assessment and the competent English. So that is not the immigration is defining the points criteria. So if your partner is skilled, you will only get 10 points. So Jigisa is asking, what are the chances to get the invited for mechanical engineering at 80 points? UI lodged last month. So for 80 points, actually there are good. So there are less number of applicants waiting for that. So now we will answer the last question. It is from Maulik Patel, and he is asking that is there any changes in Tasmania state sponsorship for 491? So for 491, they didn't announce anything yet, so we can't assume that you will be having the same requirement. However, there are high chance that there will be the same requirement after November as well for the 491 with 1 year study or 6 months experience. But they might change some requirement, or they might change the occupation list as well for Tasmania after November. So we need to wait until November to get clear all the updates for the 491, even for the 189 as well, or how many invitations they will issue and what are the occupations will be there in the 491 criteria. So this is all for today, everyone. So I'm ending this session for today. So if you have any questions, you can visit any of our nearest branch to get the detailed consultation, and you can book an appointment with one of the migration agent. So I'm based in Aussizz Group Very B, so that's in the west part of the Melbourne. So if you have any query, you can contact me. I tag myself in this post, so you can send me a request as well on the Facebook. I will try to answer all of your questions in my message box. Thank you everyone.